Hey y'all, happy, what day is it? Wednesday. So just to piggyback off of Shanae's question in the group, how do you make the space for taking this time to slow down to do your practice? So this is a common question, so please, if you are struggling with this same question, don't feel bad or feel like you're messing up or anything like that. It takes time to get into a self-care practice, and we actually another one of the ladies in the group today during our client call, we talked about this and how this process takes you through three different layers. The first part of the process is digging. The second part is to plant the seed. And then the third part is to embody the growth or the new growth that's happening from the seed being planted. And oftentimes, what happens is we're in this, we're starting to build a self care practice and it feels good, right? And it's like, okay, these things are, these things are nice to do, or it's nice to think about going to get a manicure or going to get a massage, but it's like, I should be doing all of these other things, and this could even relate to sex, just like enjoying any type of pleasure that has nothing to do with you doing additional work, right? So if your mind is wandering to the dishes, the laundry, the dirty clothes, the wall that needs to be scraped or whatever. It's like, it takes you out of the moment of being able to receive and being able to slow down. So I'll say there's two different things. There are some people who can slow down for days at a time. And it's just like, that's just a thing for them and it comes with ease. And then there are other people who are kind of like, who are go like runners, you know what I mean? It's like your mind is constantly going, you've always got great ideas, you're always kind of like in the flow and producing or doing a lot, and that might actually feel good for you to be able to produce, especially if you've got a lot of ideas or a lot of things on your plate, and it doesn't necessarily feel like it's taking something away from your life to be able to get those things done. So where the problem comes in is when the not taking care of yourself or not taking that time for yourself starts to impact your health, your spiritual health, or your physical health, or your emotional health, And so I always like to compare this conversation to your phone. No matter if you have an Android or an iPhone 20, okay, we all know that we have to charge our phones, right? We text, talk, Facebook, Instagram, tweet, email, look up things to shop for. We take pictures, we take videos, we're doing boomerangs all day long. But we know that at some point, if we don't put that phone on the charger, that the battery is going to die. And every night when we go to sleep, majority of the time, if not all, we're always putting that phone on the charger overnight so that in the morning it still operates at its full capacity. And it's not just like on 10%. Now, sometimes I will not have my phone on the charger, and then I'm usually pissed off about it, especially if I have to get up and leave right out of the house because my battery is not on 100%, and it's failing to do the things that I need it to do because it's only working on 10% of the battery. And so we operate the same way. If we don't stop to refuel, if we don't stop to recharge, if we don't allow ourselves that space and that opportunity to get that healing, that refuel, that re-energizing that we need, we stop operating in the best parts of ourselves. Does that make sense? I want you, so comment, and you all can comment below and let me know what you're thinking, and then we can kind of bounce back and forth there. But when you're tired, when you're stressed out, when you're anxious, when you're scattered all over the place, there's no room for you to really experience joy. There's no room for you to experience pleasure. There's no room for you to just enjoy what's happening in your life and not feeling like you're always having to move on to the next thing. And that's the thing where that's what slowing down for your self-care practice allows for you to do. It clears the plate. It allows for you to create some intentional boundaries and guidelines around how you do your day. So so that you are not always in this constant state of go, go, go. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to slow down for a 2-week, retreat in Bali where you don't have your phone or your computer, but it does mean that, maybe taking 15 minutes in your day to go take a walk or to journal or to dance, taking that time will allow for you to be able to refuel. And slowing down can be very uncomfortable, because what happens when we slow down, all the stuff that that isn't always at the surface that isn't always noticeable or in our first sense of awareness comes to the surface, because now it's caught up with us. Like, we've slowed down, we've stopped, and now all this stuff has the opportunity to kind of sit right in our lap. And so slowing down can also feel very challenging when we're not really willing to sort through some of the discomfort, sort through some of the things that are bothering us or that we want to bring attention to in our life. And so I know one of the things that Shanae said in her post was that it feels like it's not essential. But I want to challenge your thinking around that and say that it is essential, because if you are not taking that time for yourself, and again, remember, there's a very wide spectrum from, going on a 2-week remote retreat in Bali to taking 15 minutes a day for yourself. There's a big difference. And, some people may never work up to the eat, pray, love life. You know what I mean? And that's okay. But that doesn't mean that you can't have snippets of it throughout your day. There's one of the sayings in the movie, I think it's either Del Far or Bel Far Niente, and it's like the sweetness of doing nothing. We have to have those moments, because especially when we're calling things into our life, whether it's a book deal or a new relationship or, just having more fun or, making new connections and friends in a new city, we have to have the actual space for that. And if our life is so filled and so busy and so overwhelmed and so packed that we don't have enough time to slow down for ourselves, or it feels uncomfortable to slow down for ourselves, we can't invite that energy into our life because there's really no room for it. So we're like sending out a signal like, hey, I want this thing, but then booking up our entire timeline or our entire schedule with all of these different things. And we're like, well, I want this thing, but not really. Just kidding. Like, I want this thing, but actually, psych. So it's you have to be honest about what it is that you actually want. If you're not looking to bring in new experiences into your life and you like being busy and, it's like it fuels you and you just need kind of like the basics, go for it. But if you know that you're calling more into your life, then you also know that you have to do the work of making space for it to actually exist. And you can't make that space just by adding things to your schedule. You have to make that space by kind of clearing some of the things out, tightening up your systems or tightening up your schedule. One of the things that I've started doing is I only do, conversations, client calls, booking calls, collaboration calls. I do all of it on Fridays now. So that frees up the rest of my week so that I can do some of the other admin stuff that I need to do some of the other creation stuff that I need to do, and then I also get a chance to take off 2 days. Now, it hasn't gotten to the point where it's a seamless process every week, but I'm starting to get there. And that's the point, is that you have to take those little bitty steps so that you can start to make the progress. Because I know that I would love to have 4 days off in my schedule every week. I would love to be able to wake up 2 mornings and not grab my computer and not just grab my coffee, but start off with my moving meditation practice, get in the bath right after, or start off with a workout in the gym and then get in the bath and then go take the dog for a walk on the beach. Like, these are the things that I know that I want. This is the life that I know I want to create for myself. Therefore, I'm making this space so that it actually has room to breathe and room to exist. And so it is essential when it's in alignment with whatever the plan is for your life. Whether you're wanting to stay on the go and you love that energy of new things kind of popping off and always kind of being, in the mix of doing something fresh and exciting. And then, maybe only 15 minutes a day is the best option for you. But if you know that, you're wanting to call in other things into your life, other experiences, or you want to make time to, be able to go on a vacation by yourself, or to go shopping, or to take time to go to a farmer's market versus just picking up whatever you can at the, at the local grocery store. Like, if these are some of the things that you want to do, then you have to adjust the ways in which you're making space for that accordingly. So I would love to hear your comments. I'll stop here. I've got more thoughts on this, and I'll probably jump back in tomorrow after I see some of y'all's comments and give an update. All right, y'all, have a great night.